Reus, or is that Reus, maybe? Reus? Reus? Reus is a god game in which you take control of 4 giant fucking monster demons that roam the surface of a barren wasteland. Using these giants, you're tasked with doing actually pretty much whatever you want to do, which I guess is one of the benefits of being a god. But in order to advance in the game, you'll have to use the powers of the giants to make the planet livable for humans and help them build buildings, which they are far, far too lazy to do themselves. Probably a pretty realistic portrayal of humanity, especially if giant monster demons were involved. Actually, you really just give them the materials for the buildings, and then I think they kind of construct themselves. I never really saw anybody working on the buildings. I mean, occasionally a villager like wander in and hammer in like one nail and then wander off, and then the building just kind of completes when they've got enough shit. I don't quite know how. It's probably not really important. Anyway, after you've zoned areas for your little bros to live in, you add these resources to the surface of the planet to allow them to build the buildings. Where the challenge in the game comes in is primarily in managing the limited space on the planet to give as many villages as possible, as much shit as possible, by getting sweet combos between the different resources where, you know, certain resources, if they're near or next to other resources, will give a higher amount of resources. In addition to these combos, you can also execute fatalities, although as far as I can tell, the villagers are pretty unimpressed with your moves, and overall, I'd say Reus is a mediocre fighting game at best. If a village grows too fast, sometimes the villagers will get greedy and attack another village full of villagers. I should stress here, you're never in direct control of the villagers, you just kind of put things on the planet and let the villagers do their shit, so when there's a war, there's not like you don't command the fightings, you just kind of watch the horrible bloodshed. You can intervene in the wars if you want to, using some of your giant powers, although it's often funnier to watch everybody fucking die. You probably don't want to do that, though, since at the end of the game you'll be scored based on the total number of resources that are in use in between all of your villages. So letting one of them get completely fucked up does cost you valuable points. But I should stress, it is pretty funny. Sometimes the ungrateful fucks will also get on their high horse and attack your giants for giving them too much crap. Thankfully, you can execute fatalities. You unlock more buildings that the villagers will attempt to build, as well as more resources you can combo the more games you play, and the more achievements you unlock. I think they're called developments or something, but they're achieves, guys. They're pretty much achieves. And ultimately, the game's actually a reasonably deep experience. I found it pretty addictive trying to beat my previous high scores and make, like, sweet, awesome baller resource combos. But ultimately, the game falls down by being pretty damn repetitive. You pretty much build up a planet over the course of 30, 60, or 120 minutes, and get a score and some sweet unlocks, and then start again when the time runs out. But this time, hopefully, with slightly more shit available to be comboed. Overall, I did have fun with the game for like 10 hours or something before ultimately getting so critically bored of it I'll probably never play it again. So, should you play Reus? I guess so. I mean, sure, why not? There's not massive amounts of variety, but it's got much more depth than many so-called god games we get these days, and it's only like $9 or something. So, while you probably won't enjoy the game if you really only like, you know, shoot-bang games, and you're not open at all to kind of more, you know, it's not overly simple, but it's like one of those simple, light gaming experiences. And if you're not open to those kinds of things, you probably won't like it. But if you like god games or sort of simple little puzzle games, or you just want a little something that's going to be pretty enjoyable for a couple of hours and then leave your life forever, so I guess kind of like a hooker. Although you can go back to Reus if you want without paying again, since it'll be in your Steam library, so I guess it's more like that hooker that I keep tied up in my basement. The point is that Reus is a reasonably enjoyable game. If you're a fan of the genre or just looking for something a little bit fun, you could do a lot worse for the money, and it comes somewhat recommended. Thanks for watching, guys, and until next time, Trouble T Cat out. Hey guys, Trouble T Cat here. This little voiceover section isn't normally going to be at the end of these, but this is the first video I'm doing in what I think is going to be a new series called Should You Play, as I think you got, where basically I try and do sort of very short, quick and dirty, and hopefully somewhat amusing reviews of games. And since this is the first video, I just want to take an extra moment to ask you guys for feedback. If you think this is like a good idea, if I should make more of these, what have you. Basically, just the idea would be to make a very, very short review, like around 5 minutes or less, with the ultimate goal of just telling people whether or not a game's actually worth buying. So not a whole lot of detail, and not like focused purely on comedy like some other sort of short kind of review things, but actually focused on giving an impression of the game, just in a very quick and dirty nature. So if you like the video and you want to see more videos like this about other games, please leave a comment and let me know. If you have any other comments, again, please let me know. And as always, thanks for watching. See you guys next time.